Hello everyone. Today is Tuesday, December 15th, and this is what we're doing in class today. Today we are moving beyond writing our thesis statement into our next writing strategy. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you have submitted yesterday's thesis writing statement. Okay, we did that on Monday the 14th. And if you have not completed it and submitted your thesis statement, you should not yet begin today's assignment until you do. If you have completed today's assignment, then you will, or yesterday's assignment, I'm sorry, then you will access the assignment for Tuesday, December 15th, that is called the Help Writing Strategy. When you open it, it will look like this. The first thing that you need to do is type your name and period in the box at the top left. Next, I want you to take the thesis that you wrote on Monday, December 14th, and either type it here or copy and paste it so that it is at the bottom of the slide. This is a writing strategy that helps us develop our ideas. I'm going to switch to another copy of it. Okay, now you can see my thesis statement that I've been using as an example at the bottom. I've chosen a sense of humor as the quality that I think is most important to help overcome obstacles. It is my job as the writer to provide evidence that shows that a sense of humor is the most important quality or technique, characteristic, depending on what word that you used. Just like in your science class, whenever you have a hypothesis to prove, that you turn to data and research and you provide evidence to back up your hypothesis. In ELA, we turn to evidence also, and that evidence comes from these four categories. The help strategy helps us develop that evidence and to explore the different types of evidence that we can provide to prove our thesis. We look to history. This includes historical facts, historical events, and historical figures or people who have done something using the quality that I chose, in this case a sense of humor, that I can provide the evidence for my thesis. Okay, so I would need historical facts, events, or people who in some way displayed a sense of humor while overcoming an obstacle. That works with my thesis. Then I'm going to look to entertainment. Entertainment includes TV shows that I know, movies, music, video games even that I know, any of which I can use an example from to support my thesis without doing research, because that's really not something that's available to me during a writing exam. So I'm looking for ones where a character or a plot line shows a sense of humor while overcoming an obstacle. Then I shall explore literature. Literature, it includes books, short stories, poems, and any religious writings that you are familiar with. I wrote Bible, but it may be something different for you. You can also include quotes that are well known as literature or because it is writing. And I will look for examples that include humor, in which someone displays humor while overcoming an obstacle. Oh, and by the way, this also can include anything out of HMH that we have read this year in class. Think, for example, your stories about Ball Hawk or even women in aviation. Last is the personal story, which is sometimes called an anecdote. These are stories of your own personal experience about you or a close loved one, in which a sense of humor may have helped while going through something difficult or overcoming an obstacle. Now let me share with you one that is more completed. Okay, this is still using my own. So whenever I look to history for an example of humor in the face of an obstacle, I chose the historic event of the pandemic of 2020, which I believe will be a historic event. And I remember that during the time of the quarantine, especially last spring and the summer, a lot of people used humor to kind of lift themselves up and to feel better and not feel so alone while we were staying home and really not able to go out to dinner or go to the movies or go to the mall. We could not go on vacation. Some of us missed parties and we missed seeing our friends, and it sometimes felt very lonely. But whenever I would be playing on my phone, like you might have, I would see funny memes that people had created about being in isolation or about trying to go to school while they were online or taking care of their small children all day instead of going to work or trying to do both at the same time. I saw a lot of those, and they always kind of gave me a giggle, and I feel a lot of people used humor while going through something that was really hard, like that quarantine. TikTok also became extremely popular. It was a form of escape for people that were bored, that were worried, that were just not sure what was going to be happening next. And I saw TikToks made by children. I saw TikToks made by teenagers and adults and teachers and grandmas and grandpas. And everybody was trying to mostly find something humorous in the world, in the situation that we were going through. So that's how I used humor to connect with history. Then I thought of entertainment, TV shows and things like that I know where someone displayed a sense of humor while going through something difficult. I thought of the Friends TV show. You might know that too. I've seen most of those. I thought of Disney movies, so I wrote down Buzz and Woody. I thought of the MASH, which is an old TV show about a group of doctors during the Korean War, and they were great at using humor to kind of relieve some of the stress that they were always going through. And then I thought of literature, books or short stories that I might know where a sense of humor is an important quality for overcoming obstacles. I chose a quote that is sometimes well known. A lot of people have heard of it, that laughter is the best medicine. And it's often used to explain why someone might laugh in a very serious situation or when they are nervous, or how laughter reduces stress. And I haven't filled in my personal story, but I'll be doing that soon. Okay, you're required to have a personal story and at least try to fill in your other 4 boxes. When you are finished, you will turn it back in Schoology, and that is your daily grade for today. It should be a somewhat easy one. It will need to be completed so that you're ready to move on to the next step. A reminder that Thursday is the retest for the QSE. There is a QSE retest folder in Schoology that has directions for you for what you should be doing. You need to select Reteach and then go ahead and do the items that it lists there, which include going to HMH Ed and selecting assignments and then watching these 4 videos. You will record the key ideas from each video. Like, what do you remember from this video? What should you remember from this video? On this Google form that is located right here. And then you will do this practice assignment that is 12 multiple choice questions. Those things must be done by Thursday in order for you to be allowed to do the retest on Thursday. Otherwise, your grade will not count. If you have any questions, however, please let me know. Make sure that you are reading for 30 minutes every day for independent reading. And email me if you have questions. Have a nice afternoon.